and welcome to the Knitting Pastor Vlogast. I am Heather, I am your host, and I am a United Methodist pastor of two small member congregations in rural, mid, towards the west side of Michigan. I am coming to you this afternoon on April 4th, Saturday, April 4th, from my parsonage, which is a home owned by one of the churches that I serve. And I live here with my two children, Abby, who is 14, and Philip, who is 9, and our Rhodesian Ridgeback, Flint. So if you are coming back and checking me out, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I hope that you have stayed healthy and safe during these crazy times. If you are just joining me for the first time, welcome. I hope that you enjoy what you see. I should explain a little bit about what this actually is. It is not a podcast in the traditional sense where I just sit down with you once and kind of go over everything. It is more of a vlog style, so I call it a vlogcast because I usually take shorter videos throughout the week. This kind of gives you a glimpse into my life, my knitting, my kids, my ministry, that sort of thing. It is primarily about knitting though. So welcome. So as I said, today is Saturday, April 4th. It is a gloomy, rainy day here in Michigan, although we did have a couple absolutely beautiful days this past week, which was wonderful. We are entering our second full week of stay-home orders from our governor. That's been interesting. People are doing a pretty good job for the most part of following those orders, but not everybody is. But I think people are doing a pretty good job of that. The big development that happened this past week, though, in Michigan is one, we went over 10,000 cases of COVID-19. So that was kind of a big deal. I think we're the state with the third most cases of the virus right now. So that's a little scary. That happened. And then the other thing that happened is the governor made an executive order closing all schools until June 30th. So that means my kids will not be going back to school this year. That was a really jarring thing for me. And while it didn't surprise me, and I think it's the right thing to do, it really shook me quite a bit. And it's really kind of impacted the last half of my week. So that happened on Thursday. And since then, I just really, my ability to focus hasn't been real great throughout this whole thing. But since then, it's gotten really bad. And it's been really hard to do the things that I need to do. So yeah, that happened. And that was a little bit alarming. We're not sure what that's going to mean yet as far as what they might be doing to finish out a school year, if there's going to be any online learning, if there's going to be anything that we have to mail. We don't know right now what that's going to look like. I had gotten an email from the superintendent of their school district saying that they were kind of exploring this, and this all kind of happened relatively quickly, and so they're not really sure what they're going to do right now. It kind of seems to be the theme through this whole endeavor is this has all happened really quickly and we don't know what we're going to do. Seems to kind of be the theme at the moment, which can be a little bit jarring, a little bit hard to know what to do. So that's kind of where we are at with Michigan and the COVID-19 situation. As far as what I've been doing, I've been knitting some. I tried something new, which is why I don't have a ton of knitting to show you. That and the focus thing. It's been all over the place, and I'm sure that is for a lot of people. It's not just me. I'm sure it's not just me, for sure. It's a lot of people. So I'm with you if you're struggling with all of this. So I thought I'd show you what I've been working on. It's mostly socks at the moment. I do have one project that I am working on that's kind of a secret. And the person that I am knitting this for sometimes watches the vlogs. So I don't want to show it because I don't want to give anything away. So I do have that that's that I'm working on kind of on the side as well, which also is kind of why there hasn't been a ton of this. Anyway, 2 pairs of socks. The first is just vanilla socks. I've been working on these kind of like as I've been reading for class. It has helped me just kind of focus a little bit more because knitting helps me focus. So I've worked more on these. I'm almost to the toe now of this pair. The yarn is from Knit Picks. It's Felici. It's called Candy Shop. And then the contrasting color is Knit Picks Stroll, and it is Duchess Heather. So that is pair of socks 1. Pair of socks 2, I showed you last week the one that I finished. And I'm working on the second one. So these are my Ambient socks by Helen Stewart. Let me just make sure that I'm not going to drop any stitches or anything crazy like that. So yeah, so these are the Ambient socks. This is the second one. I have just about done with the gusset. I think I only have like 2 more decreases, and then the gusset will be done, and it'll just be the rest of the foot. So yeah, so these are the Ambient socks by Helen Stewart. Let's see if I can show you the pattern on the front. And then this is the pattern on the back, because they are different on the back. They fit really nicely. I'll say that. It's hard to really describe exactly how they fit, because you put them on and you think they're going to be too loose, but they're really not. They just feel really good on your feet. So that's what these are. The yarn that I am using, this is it's Baah Wool La Jolla, or Baah Yarn La Jolla. And the colorway is called Love Potion, and it's gray with all of these like awesome speckles throughout it. And then the contrasting color is this right here. It's a mini that I had. It's from AJHC Wool, and for the life of me, I cannot remember what the colorway name is. I can't remember. But this is the contrasting color. And I really thought that it was just really a good contrast with it. It kind of makes the colors pop and sing. So I've really enjoyed working on these. They do work up really quickly when I actually have the time to sit down and work on them. But the other thing, and this is why there hasn't been a ton of knitting, because yesterday, on Fridays are usually my day off, when I would be knitting, I was doing something else. So one of the things that I was really wrestling with was this idea of not being able to do anything, right? Like not being able to help with this situation. And so I'd kind of been wanting to learn to sew for a while, but just hadn't had the extra time to do it. And I've got a little bit of extra time now. So I decided to sew. So I taught myself how to sew this week. And I started to sew masks for healthcare workers. And now the CDC has come out with guidelines recommending that everybody wear a mask when they have to go to the grocery store or something like that. So I started to sew masks. I have made 4. Which I realize does not sound like very much. But keep in mind, I just learned how to sew on like Thursday. Just saying. So they are a little rough around the edges. They're not beautiful. I'm using some fabric that my mom gave me, like scraps that she had to use. So these first 2 are really ugly. Well, I don't know. Somebody may like these. They are not my cup of tea. So these are the first 2. They're the same because I had a bunch of the fabric. Don't ask me anything about it because I really don't know anything about sewing. I really don't. I just found a tutorial and did it. So these are the first 2 that I did. And they started to get a little bit better. So I think this was the first one because it's like extra janky. And then this one was a little bit better. And then I made, let's see, this one right here. And then I made this one. This one's a little weird too. The pleats I did a little funny, but I think it's still okay. So yeah, so I ordered some more bias tape. because I don't have, like, because a lot of it is, like, leftover bits, so I don't necessarily have enough to, like, make my own straps like I did with the first 3, like this one and this one. So I ordered some more bias tape on Amazon because I needed to get some stuff for an Easter basket for the kids. And Philip's birthday is coming up. Poor Philip. So I ordered some more bias tape. I have some that my mom gave me, and then some that came that I had before. So this was a lot easier than cutting strips and using strips. So this was definitely made this mask go faster. I have another one that I've got it cut out and the pleats sewn on. I just have to sew on the bias tape and do the straps. So I tried 2 different patterns. This one, the straps are on this side, and then this one, they go across the top. I have no idea what is better, or what, I have no idea. So they were 2 different patterns that I found, one of each. I don't know. Does it matter? I don't know. I'm putting on masks. Okay, anyway, so that's why the knitting content wasn't a lot, because I sewed masks. Who knew? That's all I have. I am rambling. Told you, focus is not my strong suit right now. So I'm going to stop right now and let you, well, no, you're watching all of this as one. I'm going to stop and get some more stuff done, and I will check in with you later. Okay, guys, so it's Sunday, April 5th, and I literally just finished recording, or not recording, doing a Facebook Live worship service for my 2 churches. I don't think that ever is not weird. It is very strange to record worship here at my table in my house. It's very strange, but it's what we have right now, as weird as it is. People, though, are really responding positively to it, so I'm encouraged by that. I have to admit, I got a little emotional during my worship. I don't know why, but just all of a sudden in the middle of my sermon, I started to feel like I was going to choke up. And I don't think I realized just how much I miss my people and that time together with each other. One of my churches is extremely encouraging, and they're very uplifting, and they're very affirming of me. And while they have been continually throughout this whole process, I constantly am getting positive affirmation for them, which I very, very much appreciate. But not having that in-person thing is really, I can feel it, and it's a little bit tough. So I just finished that, and I'm exhausted, which you wouldn't think that I would be exhausted, but I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go rest for a little bit. I'm not sure what the rest of my day is going to entail. I guess it will all depend a lot on how much I can focus today, because you never know right now. So I'm gonna go rest a little bit. I hope that everyone is well, and I will check in with you later. It's Wednesday, and April 8th, and I just wanted to pop on real quick. I haven't really said much more this week, and see how everyone is doing. We have had some beautiful weather here in Michigan, which has been wonderful. Yesterday was an absolutely gorgeous day. The sun was shining, it was warm. We even had thunderstorms last night. It really felt like spring, and it was so needed. I can't even begin to tell you how badly that was needed. but I hope that you're all doing well. Like I said, we've been trying to enjoy the weather. I've been getting things around for Holy Week because the last half of the week gets to be pretty busy in the church calendar. We're going to do a Zoom meeting tomorrow for Monday, Thursday, and then I'll do a Facebook Live for Good Friday, and then we'll have Easter on Sunday. So it's pretty full week. But that's Holy Week. That's how it is. This is the most important time of the year for those of us who are Christians. It's kind of an important time, and it's especially poignant right now with everything going on in the world and all of the difficulties that we're facing right now. I think it really kind of brings it all home. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I did finish my Ambient socks. So that was exciting. I don't have them over here at the table with me because I just finished recording Facebook message for my churches. So I don't have them with me. They're like over there in the basket. So now I'm trying to decide what I want to cast on next, and I'm not sure yet what I want to cast on next. I don't know if I want to start a sweater or just knit something small and simple. I haven't really decided yet, but I'll let you know when I do decide. All right, that's all I've got for now. I will check in later. Hi everyone, and happy Easter. Today is Sunday, April 12th, and I thought I would wrap up this week's vlog. I know I didn't record a whole bunch this week. It was Holy Week. That means there's quite a bit for me to do throughout the week. But everything just has felt very strange this year with the isolation and whatnot. And many of the things that we normally would do for Holy Week, we didn't get to do. And it's just been a very weird Easter. For those of you who celebrate Easter and Passover and any of these holidays right now, I'm sure you can relate that it's just very strange. And doing church was very strange. I just finished recording my Easter service right here, so that's why I'm set up like I am with the Easter lilies, and I've got some bread that I made and some juice because we shared a meal together because we can't do communion separately for reasons that I don't really fully understand, so I'm not even going to try to explain because I don't really fully understand them myself. So it's just been strange. All of this has been very strange. It's kind of the theme right now. And it's been hard, as I said, to get into the mood for Easter. It's been really hard to kind of find that rhythm. So yeah. Philip will be home a little bit later, so I wanted to wrap this up this morning before I got too far into the day and he showed up, and yeah. So I'll talk a little bit about what I've been making this week. I made bread. I made 2 loaves of bread. It's broken because that's what you do. So I made 2 loaves of bread, which actually turned out fairly good. I was kind of happy with how that turned out. So I made these yesterday to use today as part of the meal that we did. So I was happy with how that turned out. That was the first time I'd ever made bread, not in a bread machine, and it was yeasted bread. I've made like pizza dough, but never bread. So that was an experience, and it was kind of fun. I will probably do that again. Granted, yeast and flour are very difficult to come by right now, but I do have some yeast and I do have some flour, quite a bit of flour actually. So we may have to make some more bread because I enjoyed making bread and it's tasty. So I made that, and then I'm going to talk about my knitting, and then I'm going to talk about the other craft that I have picked up recently, which I talked about at the beginning of this, but I'll talk about it one more time. So knitting wise, I can't remember. I think I talked about it, but I don't think I showed you. I did finish my Ambient socks by Helen Stewart. So these are my Ambient socks. These are from the Handmade Sock Society Season 3, the second sock in that pattern. And these are mine. I really enjoyed them quite a bit. I really enjoy the fit of them. I think they're a lot of fun, but also very pretty. I'll just show you one of them. So they have a different pattern on the front and on the back of the leg, a different texture, which makes them really interesting to work on and to knit. The yarn that I used is Baah Yarn La Jolla. The colorway is called Love Potion. And then the contrasting color on the heels and toes is from AJHC Wool. I cannot recall the colorway name. I apologize for that, and I don't know where the band is to tell you what that is, but I thought that it went really well, and I thought that it made them pop and that they were a lot of fun. So these socks are finished, and I'm very pleased with that because I finished something. It feels like it's been really hard to accomplish a lot right now. And then I was really struggling with what I wanted to work on next. I do have a project that I can't really show you because the person that I'm making this for sometimes watches. So I've been working on that as I am able to. So I can't really show you that. But the other thing that I decided to cast on, because I was trying to decide what do I want to make next. I wanted to hold off on socks because when Helen Stewart's next pattern comes out, I'll cast on the next socks in the Handmade Sock Society. So I didn't really want to work on socks. But I didn't necessarily want something that was going to be super thought intensive. So I had some leftover yarn from a pair of socks that I made from Legacy Fiber Arts like 2 years ago. It's a fallish yarn, and it's this, and it's called Candy Corn. It came as a sock set, so it had like an orange mini that went with it that I don't have any left. And I did knit a pair of socks out of it. But first of all, yarn from Legacy Fiber Arts, their skeins are very, very generous. They're wonderful. You get so much out of them. I knit an entire pair of socks, and these were normal length socks. Granted, I do have small feet. I'll caveat it with that. And I did use contrasting colors for heels, cuffs, and toes. But I still had 75 grams of yarn left after knitting an entire pair of socks. So I had a lot of yarn left, and I didn't really know what to do with it because it's orange. And I don't have like a ton of orange, and I don't wear a lot of orange. So I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't want to make another pair of socks and have 2 pairs of socks out of the same colorway. So I decided to cast on a Sockhead hat, which is just a plain stockinette hat out of sock yarn that you just kind of knit basically until you run it out of it. And I believe it's a free pattern. I think it's a free pattern. So here is my progress on the Sockhead hat. And this has just been really kind of therapeutic to knit on as I'm like doing devotions in the morning or reading for class or anything like that, because it's around and around and around, and because it's a hat, I can use 16-inch circulars and I don't even have to fiddle with needles at all. It's been very enjoyable. So I have been enjoying working on that, and it's going quickly because I don't have to think about it and it's just around and around and around. So that's what I've been working on. Nothing particularly exciting. I wish I could show you my other project because I'm really excited about it. But again, I don't want to give anything away. So it's sitting over there on the couch because I've been working on it this weekend. The other thing that I have been making is I told you that I decided to start sewing some masks because I kind of felt like I needed to contribute in some way, shape, or form or help with this whole situation and crisis. So I started to make masks. I made a total of 15 that I gave away, and then I made masks for the kids and I. And so this is my mask that I made for myself that I am wearing when I go out to the grocery store. It's not fabulous or anything like that, but it works. I can, tie it. Maybe. And it works. And that's how I go grocery shopping. And it is very surreal because most people are wearing masks now at the grocery store, and it's really weird. It's really, really weird. I try not to go very often to the store, maybe not even once a week. I'm trying to go every week and 10 days to 2 weeks, as much as we're able to get by without going to the store. But it's strange to go in the store and have everybody be wearing masks. It's very surreal. So as I said, I made a bunch of masks for a parishioner of mine. She is a nurse, and the care facility that she works in have made it mandatory to wear those masks. And I think she even said they're starting to put them on the patients or residents because it's an extended care facility. So I brought those masks to her, left them on the porch, and I'll probably work on some more because she said they could use them. But then I decided to try to make something a little bit more fun. And one of the reasons I wanted to start sewing in the first place was I wanted to make some project bags for myself because I don't really have very many, and I like to make something good size that I can use to put sweaters in. And so I found a free like tutorial pattern to make a drawstring bag. So I did, and I made a project bag. Here it is. It's not super fantastic, and the outer fabric that I used is pretty thin, so like it doesn't stand up. But if you put like a skein of yarn in there, it stands up okay. But yeah, so here is my drawstring bag. This is fabric that my mom had given me, some leftover stuff that she had, and I thought it was cute. So I used that for the outside, and then the inside is just this navy blue fabric. And I used the navy blue fabric for ties, and yeah, I did it. I made a bag. I'm kind of proud of myself on this one. It's like I said, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I did it, and I learned a lot in the process. The pattern that I used, I'll try to remember to link it below. It's like simple lined drawstring bag or something like that, and it actually called for using like a contrasting color up here, but I decided just for sake of simplicity that I would just use the two. And my inner fabric and my outer fabric didn't really line up super well, but that's okay, because I'm not complaining, because I did it. I did it, and it's functional, and it works, and I made a project bag. And I will probably make more, because I had fun doing this. I have some more fabric that my mom gave me, and then I had some fabric that I ordered to make masks that has some really nice fabrics in it that I would use for a bag that I want to try and make again. But yeah, I'm proud of myself for making this. I did go ahead and purchase the PDF of the pattern that I used, because it had multiple sizes of bags and I can make something bigger. But I made a project bag. I'm really proud of myself. So that is what I have for this week. I know it has not been the most exciting of vlogs this week. It's just hard right now. I hope that everyone is doing well, that you're all finding ways to kind of maintain your sanity and not feel too overwhelmed with the situation. I hope that you're making as that makes you happy, and just slowing down and spending time with family and doing those things that are important. And yeah, so I will be back with you again in 2 weeks. I hope that you all stay well until then. I think we'll still be ordered to stay home. I don't know if I told you that our governor extended the stay home orders until April 30th. Only made them a little more stringent. So we will see what happens until then. All right, stay well, everyone. I will talk to you later. Bye.